So today we'll do a little chicken update, just talk about our chicken setup and how we have it planned, how it's playing out, and the timeline for all of that. First, we're going to actually just pop over and do a quick little food forest update, and then we'll come right back to the chickens.
Hey, that's my cranberry. Get those little chicken feet away.
I'll probably spend a little bit of time just watching the chickens, a little bit of relaxing chicken TV, so hope you guys enjoy this one. So just a general food forest update. We are just finishing peach season. So these are the last 4, well, we just ate 4, so the last 8 peaches. I think we have 2 left on the tree. And then we are done peaches, and I'm super sad. But then we're coming into pear season and blackberry season and apple season. So I was just tasting the blackberries, and I didn't do a great job cleaning this up at the end of last year. This is a thornless blackberry, but we're probably a couple weeks away from blackberries. I did have a really nice one, but most of them are still coming in. So we got blackberries, and then we've got apples, and no persimmons this year. And what else would normally come? Sea buckthorn coming up shortly after that, and then we'll probably start getting into another flush of strawberries as the weather starts cooling. And it just keeps ticking on. Time just keeps ticking on, and the season goes. So I hope you guys are enjoying your season so far. It'll be winter before we know it, and I'll probably have to come in here and do a little bit of cleanup. But we've still got raspberries producing, and we've got lots of fruit coming in, just different kinds of fruit. It always changes. Yeah, but pears will be coming soon, and this one here's probably got codling moth in it, or plum curculio, so we'll have to pull that one off. I can't do it with no hands. I'll do it right after this video. And we've got some bosque pears here, and we've got some Asian pears here, and these are a real treat. I'll actually have to start thinning this branch out. Look at this. Didn't even notice that. But yeah, lots and lots of Asian pears. And following that, we're going to have more Jerusalem artichokes to harvest, and we're going to have some sea buckthorn as well. And then other than that, for the food forest, we've got this annual garden bed. So these are our annuals this year, part of them anyways. And we're actually at an important date right now. For anyone in my zone or in and around my zone, we are about 60 days from the first frost. So this is the time of season where you're going to want to really think about starting your fall gardens and, getting that succession gardening going. We're going to do a video on that. 60 days is important because that's about the time that it takes for lettuces and spinaches and broccoli, what else? Radishes. That's about how long it takes them to mature. So if you want to get an extra fall crop in your gardens, now is the time to start thinking about sowing them indoors, or you can even just sow them right in and around your annuals. So we will kind of go in here and sow some lettuces and spinaches, and we're going to get those from West Coast Seeds. So the order's in, we're just waiting for delivery now. And for those of you who don't have any supplier that you get your seeds from, I definitely recommend West Coast Seeds. I'm now an ambassador of their program, and the reason for that is that I actually really believe in West Coast Seeds. I've bought my seeds from them and for a couple of years now, and they've always done really, really well, and their ethics really align with mine, which is probably the most important thing. So check out the link below if you are going to get seeds and you want to help support the program with, you know, money that you would spend anyways, and at no cost to you. You can support us, and you can support you know, a great ethical organic seed grower like West Coast Seeds, which is who I've gotten pretty much all of my tomato seeds and my radishes and peppers and everything that I bought have come from West Coast Seeds. We'll probably start pulling some of this stuff out at some point. The pumpkins are doing really, really well, and they're almost mature, ready to go, so we can get those pumpkin vines out and make room for an upcoming fall crop. If we can get that, you know, broccoli and cauliflower, if we can get those ready and strong by the time the first frost hits, those things will power through until like November or even into December. So it's really about getting those plants strong and established for when that happens. And if you can time it right, you can get a fantastic extension on your gardens, even without using hoop houses or any of that. And by the way, if I can recommend anything from West Coast Seeds, these chocolate tomatoes, these chocolate cherry tomatoes, are the my single favorite crop that I grow in terms of an annual. They are absolutely fantastic. The taste is unbelievable. Oh my god. The flavor is incredible. It's such a deep, complex flavor. So good. So anyways, check out West Coast Seeds. Start your shopping there. And you'll support the channel just by buying seeds that you would anyways. Let's go over and check out the chickens. You can see that I covered up that wasp nest. So far so good. It's been about a week since that wasp's attack video. And we've covered it up. You know, not actually covered it up, but just covered it up a little bit with that green bin there. The wasps can still get into their hive. And so far they're actually not bothering the chickens at all. So I've restored the fence to how it was. And everyone's getting along. It was really just them scratching right on top of the wasp nest. And you can see actually the doggos are actually getting along as well. But I do need to watch them. I would definitely never leave the dogs out here, leave the chickens out here without with the dogs unattended. But it's actually good for the dogs to get exposed to these chickens being here. Now, a dog like Harry, he's got a strong prey drive. So no matter how much we can get him used to this, if the chickens run from him, he'll chase after them. And he will try to kill them. And I don't really think that we can train that out of him at this age. I don't know, maybe we can. I do know that we've got some dog trainers in the audience, so let me know what you guys think. But to me, it's just not really worth the risk. I also don't want them to ever catch a chicken. So I don't want them to make a mistake. I really do believe a lot of dog training is about ensuring that your animals can't make a mistake. So, you know, we've been bringing them out here just to kind of acclimatize them to the chickens. And then I'm out here all the time when they're out here as well, so I can correct it if needed. Harry's favorite little spot is actually just a little further than that, and he'll just sit there and he'll just watch them. And it's actually really nice. You can see we've started to train the kiwi across into the chickens coop, and then hopefully we can kind of train it across that way, around this way, and it can spread out on the coop, give them some extra shade, and then some kiwi fruit that'll fall into the coop. We've also got all these grapes here that are starting to go across over to the coop. And grapes, we just have to be careful because chickens can't have too many grapes. But I will show you that they love the grapes. So we'll cut some off here. I'll show you how much they love these grapes. Come on. Come on. They love the grapes. So overall, this is a pretty fantastic place to just chill out. This is above me. Come out here and have my lunch. Watch the chickens. Just hang out. So long-term plans are to expand the chicken yard. Got a bunch of different ideas, different things that I want to do that I've seen done, and I'm not sure exactly which way we'll go. And that a lot of it depends on buy-in from the family and everything like that, because we were hesitant to get chickens. I wanted to make sure that everyone was on board with it before we did, and to make sure that I was patient and allow other people to kind of come on this permaculture journey with me. Because, you know, when I started doing permaculture, the day that I started, I had already spent probably a couple years starting to wake up, you know, and get unplugged and want this. And I think it's unfair when we do that and then we have all these elaborate plans that we want to get executed, but then we expect family members to just jump into it head first with us when they haven't had that couple year soak time. You know, they haven't been necessarily, I don't want to like say awoken or anything, because it's not like they're sleeping, but you know, you need to want this, and it's not really fair for one of us who has decided they want it to then drag the family into it as well. And I don't think it's sustainable. I think the sustainability of a permaculture movement comes from everybody involved wanting to do it. That's why I have this channel. You know, it's not just about preaching to people who don't want sustainability and convincing them that they do want it. It's about showing people sustainability and then making them want it. And I think that's how we change the world here. So you have to do that in the family level too. We have to show people permaculture and then make them want it. Can't just expect that they want it. So there's a whole bunch of things I'd like to do with the chickens. You know, obviously a free range through a food forest is a great idea. A little bit of damage to the herbaceous layer and to, you know, new saplings like the little cranberry there is probably going to be expected. It's starting to rain on me here. So I think long term, that's kind of where I was originally going with chickens, is I wanted them to just roam the food forest and manure it, eat the herbaceous layer and be completely free range. Limitations to that are that I have dogs, and my kids just let the dogs outside. So I can't really just have chickens walking around with dogs who haven't been trained, that have a very high prey drive. And as soon as the chicken runs away, they'll just chase it down and eat it. So that's not fair to the chickens. It's also not fair to my dogs to get mad at them if and when they do that. And it's not fair to my family, you know, to have to possibly deal with that while I'm at work. So the dogs are a big limitation to how we're going to run that. You can see kind of Harry will jump at them. Harry, I'm here, buddy. So you can just imagine what would happen if these chickens, you know, if he had access to them. He would come and he'd hunt them all down. And, you know, that's not really fair to my family to maybe have to deal with that when I'm at work or something like that. Second thing would be like a chicken tractor. So I love the idea of a chicken tractor. I love the idea of integrating the chickens into the system as much as possible. Harry. But at the same time, I want these ladies to have a great life. And to do that, I need a pretty big chicken tractor. So, and you know, I do have a decent amount of space here, but up top in my upper land, all around the house where I would want them to be so I could keep them free, safe from safe from predators. I'd really need a big chicken tractor, heavy duty Fort Knox style, and it would be up near the house, and I just thought that that is not a good way to get my wife on board with chickens. So that's why there's no chicken tractor yet. This here, you can see where the house is. The house is over here behind this. So the vision line to the chickens is almost zero. They're on the other side of these grapes, which look beautiful from in the house. So this is kind of where we want the chicken area to be in order to kind of get buy-in from the whole family. And we can possibly expand out a bit and leave soccer and baseball playing areas for the kids on that side. And then on this side, we can kind of expand the chickens out. This arbor, we're going to kind of close it in, and I'd like to expand it a bit. Harry, get out of here. No, get out. Harry, no. Get. No, Harry. So eventually I think I'd like to kind of fence this in a little more heavy duty. Maybe we'll get some T-bars, something that I can modify. You know, I really am a proponent of, if you want a fence, if you think you want a fence, you should put a temporary fence in. You should see how that is. And if the temporary fence is in the same spot a year or two later, then put in a permanent fence. So we're just keeping our options flexible in the way that I just think works best for our family. And for now, I can let the chickens out into this area here. They can have a little bit more room, a little bit more freedom. And, you know, every egg that gets produced by these chickens is displacing a factory farm industrial egg. So, you know, to me, even though this isn't as much room as I'd like to give the chickens, to me, it's a pure win still. And, you know, we'll change it over the years as you know, is a comfortable pace for everybody involved. So thanks for all your great comments on the chickens, and understand that I do definitely have big plans, but you know, I won't go through with them unless everyone's okay with it. And it may never be, and it probably never will be, exactly what I want, because what I want is very grand. You know, I want 4 acres of food forest with chickens and goats and maybe cows running through the laneways and a full silvopasture. How practical is that? For me specifically as a hobby permaculturist, you know, probably not super practical in terms of how much it would cost and just how much effort it would take to get there, versus I'm already making more food than I can possibly eat. So, and doing it very regeneratively, even if it's not perfect. You know, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. So I think I'll leave you here. We'll get back inside. We're getting rained on. And Harry's getting a little riled up, more than I'd like, so I'm going to get him inside. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Airy. So we're testing to see if we can put little rocks around all the small trees. And if the chicken scratching can kind of be minimized that way.